Across the galaxy, life has taken forms stranger and more imaginative than anything found on Earth. But on the ocean blue exoplanet Kepler-22b, some of the most extraordinary creatures are also the smallest. They are round, soft, barely the size of a person's palm, and when they move, their tiny feet glow like fireflies. These are the puff mice, nature's floating lanterns, small rodents that roll, bounce, drift, and squeak their way through dense alien forests. They survive storms that could flatten trees, navigate terrain that shifts like liquid, and communicate in pulses of bioluminescent light. These may be tiny, but they are critical to the delicate ecology of Kepler-22b. Today, we travel through their luminous world. We'll discover why they evolved to be perfectly spherical, how their glowing feet let them hover, and how their societies create one of the most complex microecosystems known to science. This is the story of the smallest, misunderstood engineers of an alien planet. Before we meet the puff mice, we must understand the world that shaped them. Kepler-22b lies 600 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus. It is a warm super-Earth, roughly 2.4 times the size of our planet, with oceans covering over 80% of its surface. The land masses that do exist form vast archipelagos, islands thick with vegetation, fungal forests, and moss meadows. The atmosphere is dense and humid, almost steamy, making the air feel buoyant, almost soft. This thick air slows falling objects and allows light, fluffy creatures to perform feats impossible on Earth. The planet's gravity is slightly stronger than Earth's, but the atmospheric buoyancy compensates, creating an unusual environment where lightweight animals can drift hop without effort. The flora of Kepler-22b is especially unique. Mushrooms the size of small trees, floating pollen clouds that drift like living fog, mosses that spring back violently when disturbed, plants that glow faintly in the evening, dimly lighting entire forests. In this gentle but unpredictable world, small creatures must be light, round, and quick. And none embody these traits better than the puff mice. At first glance, a puff mouse looks like a child's toy. A perfectly round, hand-sized ball covered in soft, velvety fur. But take a closer look. It has tiny ears resembling petals, whiskers that glow faintly blue, and 4 delicate feet tucked beneath its spherical body. When the puff mouse decides to move, its feet burst into light. Tiny neon glows like stars flickering beneath a cloud. Why do those feet glow? What use is a spherical body? And how does it avoid simply rolling away? It turns out that every feature of the puff mouse is a masterpiece of evolution. These creatures live near the bottom of the food chain. They are vulnerable, slow on the ground, and extremely small. So evolution made them nearly impossible to grasp. Their round shape lets them roll out of danger. Their lightweight skeleton helps them bounce rather than break. And their soft fur contains hollow fibers, giving them the buoyancy needed to drift a few centimeters above ground in Kepler-22b's dense air. Their glowing feet? They act like biological brake pads and thrusters, both communication tools and navigation signals. Let's take a deeper look inside this curious creature. The spherical frame. Puff mice have no rigid skeleton like mammals on Earth. Instead, they possess a flexible ring bone, a cartilage loop that forms a circle around their middle. From this ring, thin bone struts support their spherical shape. This design allows extreme compression, surviving falls, smooth rolling, and efficient energy distribution. It also allows them to tuck their limbs inward like a pill bug. Hollow fiber fur, glow feet, the signature trait, drift hopping mechanism, diet and digestion, and eyes and perception. Most puff mice live in the luminous forests, vast groves of glowing fungi, moss carpets, and bioluminescent trees called halo pines. The forest floor is uneven and cushiony, perfect for rolling and bouncing. Every evening, the forest transforms into a dreamscape of pastel lights, blue pollen clouds, green shimmering moss, purple glowing water droplets, pink fog drifting like living mist. In this glowing environment, puff mice blend in perfectly. Their light is gentle, subtle, just enough to signal each other, but not attract predators. The forest provides soft terrain that cushions falls, moss dens for nesting, abundant food, and humidity that keeps their fur buoyant. But it also hides threats. Let's explore the puff mice's daily behavior. Morning arrives softly on Kepler-22b. The sun is pale and warm, mist still clings to the ground. Puff mice emerge from their burrows, small tunnels dug into thick moss mounds. Their first task, stretching. But puff mice do not stretch like earth mammals. They inflate their fur slightly, shake out dew droplets, then hop in place, testing their buoyancy. Young puff mice make short practice hops. Up, float, down. Up, float, down. Glow feet pulse blue as they graze on moss. Soft nibbling, rolling slowly over long distances, occasionally bouncing onto elevated roots to reach spores. Their movements resemble drifting bubbles, quiet, weightless, rhythmic. Cleaning rituals. After eating, puff mice clean their fur by vibrating rapidly. This shakes off pollen and activates their bioluminescent bacteria. Some glow feet light up in pastel colors as a result, making them even more adorable. A glow consists of a dominant mother, older siblings, and the newest litter of pups. Leadership is determined not by strength, but by brightness. The puff mouse whose glow feet can hold the brightest pink pulse leads the group, because brightness signals good health, high energy, and reliable decision-making. Communication. Because dense fog often blocks sound, puff mice communicate using color flashes from their feet, soft squeaks with variable pitch, rapid fur puffs, and bounce rhythms. A skilled observer can read their foot flashes like a language. Bonding activities. Puff mice bond by touching glow feet, rolling together in play, synchronized hopping, and grooming each other's whisker lights. Their social harmony is essential for survival. Play is vital for puff mice. It teaches coordination and strengthens family bonds. Young mice practice bouncing races, glowing foot tag, rolling contests, and moss surfing. Their glow feet flash yellow during play, sending ripples of color through the group. These games teach essential survival skills, timing, balance, and how to land softly without injury.
Puff mice may be adorable, but their world is not safe. Kepler-22b hosts many predators specialized for hunting small glowing prey. 1. The drift lynx, a floating feline with long limbs and silent glides. Its fur refracts light, making it nearly invisible. Puff mice counter this predator by puffing up, rolling downhill, sinking their glow into blinding pulse patterns. 2. Swarm swallows, bird-like creatures that hunt in flocks. Their wings create vacuum pockets that can pull puff mice upward. Puff mice hide in moss pockets to avoid them. 3. Bloom spiders, flower-shaped ambush predators. They lure puff mice with bright colors that mimic foot signals. Fortunately, puff mice use whiskers to sense temperature differences, helping identify fake flowers. Tension rises as a drift link silently approaches a glow. Glow feet turn red, danger. The dominant mother signals, roll. In an instant, the entire globe puffs up and rolls in all directions like bouncing marbles. The lynx leaps, but misses. Light trails blur through the forest. Within seconds, the puff mice vanish into glowing fog.
Puff mice breed seasonally when pollen clouds are thickest. Puff mice breed seasonally when pollen clouds are thickest. Courtship. Males perform glowing foot dances, slow rolls around females, and soft humming squeaks. The brightest and most coordinated males are chosen. Nest construction. Females build spherical nests from moss fluff, fungus fibers, petal membranes. These nests glow faintly, protecting pups in darkness. Pups. Baby puff mice are blind, pea-sized, and unbearably cute. Their feet glow weakly at birth. Within days, they begin tiny hops. Adults teach them how to drift hop safely and how to read color signals. Despite their size, puff mice are essential to Kepler-22b's ecosystem. They are pollinators of bioluminescent plants, seed carriers, fungal gardeners, nutrient recyclers. Their rolling spreads spores across wide areas. Their glow feet stimulate plant growth. Their nibbling helps prune excess moss. Without them, the luminous forest would collapse.
Researchers studying puff mice have made breakthroughs in low-gravity locomotion, bioelectric light systems, adaptive camouflage, and buoyant micro-robotics. Engineers have even created glowfoot-inspired soft drones. But scientists also warn the ecosystem is fragile. A single invasive species could devastate puff mouse populations. Thus, conservation initiatives are underway.
At night, the forest becomes even more magical. Puff mice return to their nests. Glow feet dim to soft blue. Parents curl protectively around their pups. The forest hums with peaceful light, a living galaxy on the forest floor. In this calm ending to a long day, the puff mice pulse gently, breathing rhythmically. Their world is fragile. Their lives are brief, but their contribution is enormous. And their beauty? Unforgettable. On Kepler-22b, life thrives in shapes we never imagined. The puff mouse proves that even the smallest creatures can shape forests, build societies, and control the fate of ecosystems. They glow not just for beauty. They glow to survive, to communicate, to thrive in a world filled with giants. If you ever travel to the luminous forest, look down. You may see a tiny, round creature drifting by, its glowing feet topping the moss like stars dancing across the ground. This has been Small Creatures of Kepler-22b, the puff mice.